bit misleading because actually Ruby just occurs in two places in this presentation, and they're both on this slide. Um, my name is Clemens. I work at CodeShip. We build continuous integration and deployment system, and I'm responsible for the CodeShip web application. And since recently, I also record screencasts about testing. We've got this thing called Testing Tuesday. We release a screencast every Tuesday about testing, and that's what I do. And I'm the coach at Vienna office because the rest of our company is at the moment in Boston. Participated there in the Techstars program, and I came back to Vienna. Why am I talking about the Ruby workflow here? I wrote a proposal for the Euruco. Is anybody going there? It's the European Ruby conference in Athens in June. Unfortunately, it got rejected because I think they also found out that it wasn't really about Ruby. But it's about our workflow, how we develop at CodeShip, and this is what really works great in our company. So I wanted to share this with you today. This workflow lets us deploy 10 times on a good day, sometimes less, occasionally even more. And I want to show you how we work and how we make this work. The workflow is really simple. It's actually only 3 steps. The first step is developing. I will show you in a minute how we develop. The second step is a pull request. And the third step is going live. But actually only the 2 first steps are work. The last step happens automatically. So when we develop, we use Git feature branches. This is also what I'm going to show afterwards in the little demo that I've got prepared. So every developer is working on tiny features, as small as possible, so we can release as often as possible, and has its own feature branch usually. We use behavior-driven development. We use Cucumber and RSpec. And of course, one of the main parts is continuous integration. So we make sure that everything always works. Yeah, this is continuous integration. I will demo it later on. Maybe we can see it a little bit better. But this is CodeShip. This is how our continuous integration system looks like. And this is. Do you know GitHub pull requests? Who is using pull requests here? Okay, some people. It's mostly used with open source projects, I think. But it's really handy also for normal software projects because of several things you can do in there. Okay, I'm gonna go into detail later on when I demo it. And actually, it's about when you write a pull, when you finish a feature, you say, okay, I finished developing, it's ready for production. Then you make a pull request, and this means, okay, I want to merge my feature branch into the master. And what we do then is code review. So another developer looks at this pull request, reads all the code, and makes comments, which is really handy on GitHub. You can write several lines of codes, comments, and can kind of chat about issues and stuff like that. And once it is done, the person who reviews the pull request can just say, okay, I release it, I merge it into the master, and as soon as it merged, there is another build on the continuous integration system triggered, which is continuous deployment. So on every commit that reaches the master branch, we deploy immediately. So to highlight it a little bit here, the first lines are just setup. It's like git checkout and RVM use, the Ruby version bundle install and stuff like that. Then there are a few test commands, like it's really hardly readable. RSpec, Cucumber, Chessmine for JavaScript. And if everything works, we deploy automatically. So we've got 2 Heroku apps. One is kind of staging, and the other one is the production app. And we deploy to staging first, just to see, okay, does everything work, or do we get a 500 error when you hit the front page? Just a basic check that everything works. And if this works, we deploy it up to production. So for us, deployment is a non-issue. Nobody has to take care of deployment because it happens automatically all the time. Again, this is the point where I'm going to try to make a little demo. I prepared an application. It's called the Superheroes app. So let me check out. I can switch to the browser. Oh, it's gone.
Just click on the Chrome icon.
Where do I do that?
On the left.
Okay, great. Yeah, I forgot to open the Superheroes app. Wait a little second. Nope. Where's the dash? No. Sorry, I've got a different keyboard at home. Dash. Dash. Awesome. Okay. Is it connected to the wire? Let me cheat and look at my computer. I've got it open here. Maybe it's another. Okay, it's without the S. That's fine. Okay, yeah, that's what I do in my free time. I make little applications, very useful ones. And this is a superheroes guide. It will show you, okay, Metropolis. Metropolis is protected by Superman, and so is Gotham City by Batman. And this whole application is tested with Cucumber. So we had the problem here that I've got a pull request in GitHub. I wanted to brand it for Rubyslava, and I removed the link to New York. So here in the pull request, you can see it's a feature branch. It's feature Rubyslava demo, and here in the pull request, you can see that I made several changes. Actually, only two. I changed the title to Rubyslava Superheroes Guide, and I removed the link to New York. And we can see here that the build failed. So GitHub is connected to CodeShip, to our application. Whoops. No. Left click. And here we can see that this build failed. And we can even, we can really read it. We can look in there and we can see, okay, that's actually the problem that caused the failure. So what I can do now, as a reviewer, I can go here and write yeah, you can do this. Who wants to remove Spider-Man? It's impossible. Okay, so the other person who wrote this pull request will look at it and say, ah, right. So let's change it. And no, that's actually not what I wanted. Wait a second. Yeah, and the other person pushes a new version. And when we reload here, we can see, okay, this is not in the diff anymore, because this is only a diff view. We can also view the file at this commit, and we can see, okay, there's the link to New York again. And as soon as we pushed, there is another build running. Let me just go to the Superheroes application. There's another build running on CodeShip. So you can see it already started, and within like 2 or 3 minutes probably, it will finish. And it will write back to GitHub that everything's all right again. So let's get back to the pull request. Here it says, okay, determining merge status. So Koji brought back to GitHub, okay, there's something going on and we're testing it. And we've even got the build here, we can right mouse again. We can jump back and forth to the build and inspect the current status. Okay, it says build failed again. It's just in the cache. Okay, to speed this up, let's wait until it's finished. Okay, this is the demo. It failed to clone the repository. Let's try again. If it works, I should see that everything's all right here, and then I can just merge the pull request down there, and this will automatically lead to a deployment. So then we should be able to see our Bratislava or Rubislava branded superheroes guides right online after a few minutes. Let's have a look at the build again. Maybe it can clone the repository this time. Maybe in the meantime I can talk about what's nice about this workflow. We can make this full screen again. No? No? Yeah, please. Start presentation. Cool. Okay, we're back. So what's the advantage of working like this? There are a lot of advantages and one disadvantage that I can mention at the moment. When you make very small features and you constantly have them tested, you can always be sure, okay, my code won't break anything, because actually when you develop behavior-driven, all your code is tested all the time. And so it takes only hours from having an idea to actually shipping it, to having it online. The second advantage is everybody can contribute. For example, our designer has an idea. He writes some HTML and CSS, and then he makes a pull request, and another person can just merge it afterwards. So he doesn't have to have a developer looking over the code, testing it, if everything still works, because everything is tested automatically. The third advantage, of course, is code quality, because through the pull request we can maintain the same coding standards. Like I can review somebody else's code and can say, okay, maybe you try this trick that makes it a little bit more concise or a little bit more readable. And also people can do that with my code. So we learn from each other's knowledge. That's the next point already. And yeah, of course the deployment just happens. So you don't have a deployment script, or you don't have to make a certain time when you always deploy. It just happens in the background. So every time a feature is approved, it gets online immediately. The only problem that we have at the moment with this process is the pull request cycle, which is actually the review cycle. So if I finish a feature and I say, okay, Alex, my teammate, can you please review it? Then probably he doesn't have time right now, so we will look at it in 1 hour or two. We'll make his comments, then I'm going to look at it again, fix them, and maybe afterwards he has to make some remarks again. So it can take several hours, or a day or two maybe sometimes, if we have many cycles, to get it out, and that's actually not what we want. So if you've got a solution to this, I would be really thankful. Maybe we can look if it worked now. I usually hate live demos because always something goes wrong. But maybe it worked this time. Reload. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I wanted to present you CodeShip working, but here it can't clone, obviously. I don't know why it worked before. Okay. So, yeah. Now I'm interested in your questions. What do you think about this, or how do you develop at your companies? What's good, what's bad?
How do you handle external dependencies like you want to use Neo4j in the testing environment?
Yep.
Do you support it or?
Is Neo4j available as a gem? No, right? It's like you have to install it. At the moment, it works like this. We've got several storage engines or something installed, like databases, Postgres, MySQL, MongoDB. But we've only got the most frequent ones, and we've got the newest ones. So we've just got Postgres 9.2, I think it's at the moment. Because we think for most people that's okay. That's at the moment also our customers. We also had requests like, can you install LaTeX or something? It doesn't make sense at the moment. But we're always working on the infrastructure, and we've actually already found a solution for this. How we can make available different versions of one database, many database engines, and I think that's going to happen in the next few months.
Is there a way you can customize the deployment process? I mean, if you need to restart something like cycling or something, can you do it?
Once again, can you?
Is there a way you can customize the deploy process? I mean, if you want to restart some service, can you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you mean you design it with every deployment, or you
Every time I deploy, I want to, I don't know, clear cache.
Yeah, sure. Because a deployment is also some kind of script. So we've got how the deployment works on CodeShip is we've got some predefined deployment providers like Heroku, where you can say, okay, I have a Heroku app. I click on Heroku, I fill in the name of the app and the SSH key or the API key, and that's it. So your Heroku deployment is set up. It's really easy, but you can also customize it. So you can say, actually, I want Sidekick to be restarted, or I want migrations to run or not to run, stuff like this. My microphone.
Can you deploy to your own server? Whatever. And second question.
Okay.
Do you support
Okay, the first question was if you can deploy to your own servers. Yes, you can. You just need to. We provide you with a public key that you have to add to your server, so we can connect with SSH. And then we've got a convenient setup for Capistrano where you just enter a recipe name and then we let it run for you. Or you can even write your own deployment script on CodeShip online. So that shouldn't be a problem. About Bitbucket, yes, we do support it. I spent the last 2 weeks or something, or 3 weeks implementing this, and it's still experimental, so we haven't really promoted it. We just told people who have asked about it beforehand that now they should try it, and we get a lot of feedback because many things still don't work really smoothly. But give it a try. I would be also really thankful for feedback because I read through emails from users all day long and then fix stuff. And
So what happens if something goes wrong and you need to roll back your deployment from your server? Can you do it with CodeShip?
unfortunately, at the moment, you cannot. We've talked about it a lot. It's a really complex thing as well. We've always said, okay, we want to make a rollback of deployments possible, but so far there were more important things for us, and those are more low-hanging fruits, so to say, how to make the user experience better. So at the moment, not, but there's like a very, very high goal that we want to achieve one day. Okay, thank you.
Copy.